Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. This is the second lecture of the dielectric properties of the matter. Here we will study the polar molecules. In the last classes we have already discussed about the dielectric matter. In case of a dielectric, or we can say that for an ideal dielectric, this will behave like for an ideal dielectric, it behaves like an insulator. It behaves like an insulator. Insulator means basically it has no free charge carrier. It has no free charge carrier. So it will not conduct basically. Or you can say that in case of for insulator, there are the bound electrons are present, that is the nucleus present in an atom. They will attract the electrons that are present surrounding to the nucleus. The electrons that are present inside in an atom, they are closely attached to the nucleus. So the electrons are not free, or they can be called as the bound electrons. But if we apply some electric field, to a dielectric, then somehow they will form the electric dipole, or we can say that they will conduct. Okay. Or basically we can say that they will exert their own, experience their own electric field. And basing on the type, the structure of the dielectric, we can divide this dielectric into two parts. Depending on the structure of the dielectric, it is of two types, that is one is polar molecules and another one is the non-polar molecules or the non-polar dielectrics. Okay. In the previous lecture, we have already discussed about the non-polar, and today we will see the polar molecules. If you can remember, in the last classes we have already discussed that in case of a non-polar molecule, the center of gravity of the positive charge and the negative charge, they will lie at a single point, and we have considered that the nucleus, suppose this is my nucleus, inside in an atom the electrons are just like a cloud. These are the cloud of electrons, they are present inside this atom like this, and the charge density of this particle, that is the negative charge particle and the positive charge particle, they will lie at this one point, or the center of gravity, they will coincide at a single point in case of a non-polar molecules. But in case of a polar molecules, they will not coincide. So let us start with the polar molecules. The molecules in which the center of gravity of the positive charges doesn't coincide with that of the negative charges are known as the polar molecules. That is, in this diagram you can see that this is suppose positive charge, and these are the cloud of electrons, that is they will occupy in some places, that is the positive charge, it will displace from the negative charges and it will form like a dipole, that is an electric dipole. This is the case for a polar molecules. These molecules therefore constitute a permanent dipole moment. Since you can see here that there will be a small displacement between this positive charge and the negative charge, that is suppose L, then you can see this P, that is the dipole moment equal to Q into L, must be present in case of a polar molecules. The examples of the polar molecules are water, HCl, NH3, etc. These polar molecules consist of the dissimilar atoms. It means that here you can see that in this example you can see dissimilar atoms means there are two types of atom. One is in case of water, one is hydrogen, another one is oxygen. In case of HCl, one is hydrogen, another one is fluorine. In case of NH3, one is nitrogen, another is hydrogen, etc. So in case of a polar molecules, it consists of the dissimilar atoms. That is, there are two different types of atoms are here. Each molecule, it has a built-in dipole moment of its own. It means that in case of, suppose if I will consider for the water molecule, the hydrogen atom itself has a dipole moment and oxygen atom itself has a dipole moment. But in the absence of any external field, these dipoles are oriented completely at random. It means that suppose I will consider this is my dielectric material. Up to this much we know that in case of a polar molecule, in case of the polar molecules, the positive charge and the negative charge get separated, so that they have that net dipole moment. But if I consider a material, dielectric material, that is it consists of several number of atoms inside it. So if I'll consider here this positive charge, negative charge, they will form a electric dipole. This is suppose positive charge, negative charge, they will form a electric dipole. This negative, positive, positive, negative, and so on. Okay. Now you can see here these individual dipoles, they can move in any possible direction. So we can say that when there is no electric field is applied into this electric field, then these individual dipoles, they can move randomly. That is, in all possible direction they can move. Okay. So these dipole moments are of the order of 10 power minus 29 coulomb per meter. That is the separation of 1 angstrom, that is 10 power minus 10 meter, between the centers of positive and the negative charges of magnitude 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So the electric dipole moments, it points in all possible direction, cancelling out the effect of each other. That is, if we will consider any electric dipole, any dielectric material, suppose inside this dielectric material, the dipoles that are present inside this material, they can move in the any possible direction in the absence of the electric field, but they can cancel each other effect, so that we can say that this dielectric material itself is neutral in nature. And macroscopically if I will view it, then this total dipole moment will be 0. Okay, each individual has their net dipole moment. Here you can see that in case of a dielectric material, if you will consider an individual atom, in individual atom they has their own dipole moment. Okay, individual atom have their own dipole moment, but if we will consider this total dielectric material, it means that as a whole this dielectric material, they has dipole moment is 0. It means that they has no dipole moment because they will cancel each other's effect. Now you can see that here. So the net dipole moment with any macroscopically small volume element is therefore 0. So this is the case when there is no electric field is applied to the dielectric. But when an electric field is applied, there is not only some additional induced dipole moment, but also there is a torque exerted on all the permanent dipole which tend to align themselves parallel to the field. It means that when you apply some electric field, this is in case of when you apply some electric field to this dielectric material, they will before, on the absence of the electric field, you can see that these dipoles they are moving in the random direction. But if when you apply this electric field to this dielectric material, they will tend to align themselves in the direction of the electric field. That is, in case of non-polar molecules, you know, when the electric field is applied, this positive charge will move in the direction of the electric field, so that the electron can move in the, or the negative charge can move in the opposite direction of that electric field that is applied. And in case of these polar molecules, these same things happen, that is, the negative charge will move in the opposite direction to the field applied, and the positive charge will move in the same direction to that of the applied field. But here one more thing is happened, that is, a torque is developed here. If E naught is the applied electric field and P is the molecular dipole moment, then the torque experienced by each molecule will be tau equal to P cross E naught. Okay, so when you apply some electric field to a dielectric material, then what will happen? These individual electric dipole, they will try to, or they will tend to align themselves in the direction of the field, and they exert a torque in this dielectric material. The torque equal to P cross E naught. This torque tend to align the molecules in the direction of the applied electric field. Okay, but this thermal motion, the thermal motion tends to oppose this alignment, so that at each temperature some parallel alignment is produced in the equilibrium condition, and due to this alignment there is some net dipole moment associated with each macroscopically small volume element of the dielectric. So here in this case, you can see that when we apply some electric field to these polar molecules, these things happen that we have already discussed. That is, the electric dipoles, they will tend to align themselves in the direction of the field, and a torque developed, that is tau equal to this P, that is the dipole moment, cross E naught, that is the electric field that we have applied. This is your electric field E naught. Okay. So because of this torque, they will tend to align themselves in the direction of the field, and because of this external field, these electric dipoles in this dielectric material, they have some net dipole moment. This dielectric, they will have some net dipole moment. So this is the basic structure of the polar molecule. That is the inside this dielectric material. What is the difference between these polar molecules and the non-polar molecules, or we can say that the difference between the polar dielectric or the non-polar dielectric. So the conclusion that we get is that all the dielectric substances, when kept in an external electric field, are equivalent to a large number of tiny electric dipoles situated in vacuum. Okay. These dipoles, it produces a secondary field of their own, which modifies the external field. It means that in here also you can see that these tiny electric dipoles, they can also have their own electric field. They also can exert their own electric field. So this electric field direction, you can see that this is just opposite to the direction of the electric field that we have applied. Okay, the electric field that we have applied is in this direction, that is towards the right direction. But the electric field that is induced or that is developed inside this electric dipole, this is in the just the opposite direction to that of the electric field. So it means that it will just try to oppose that applied electric field. That's why it is termed as the induced electric field. A dielectric capable of producing such a secondary electric field of its own is said to be polarized, and this phenomena is referred to the polarization. So here the secondary electric field means the electric field experienced by the electric dipoles individually. That is, this induced electric field developed in case of your electric dipole, or we can say that this dielectric material is completely polarized when its secondary field is developed or there is a induced electric field can be found. And this total phenomena is called the polarization. Polarization basically means the separation of the charges or the induced electric field when developed because of the applied electric field, then that phenomena is called the polarization. And this dielectric material, in that case, it can be said that the dielectric material is polarized. So this is all for today. If you have any doubt, can ask me in the comment section. Thank you all.